Hurry up, it's Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Hurry up, it's Halloween. Hello, potato. Hello, potato. It is Halloween, October the 31st, and this is part 31, the ultimate, final, last episode of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror 31-day spooky Halloween countdown. If you've wandered in today and want to view the whole thing from the start, there's a playlist, and you can do that. But here we have our 30 bits of plastic tat that we have acquired over this past month. And up here at the front, my front line are my favorites, my top 5. One thing to clear up before we get any farther is which Marge here. I have said, I think, multiple times in the last week that she is from the episode with the costume contest. And of course, she is not from that episode. She is from the Salem witch trial episode where she is put to the test for being a witch and turns out to actually have been a witch and goes off with Patty and Selma to want to eat children. Not the contest episode. That was the one where Maggie turns into a witch. And yeah, I've said multiple times that she is from the wrong episode. So luckily, nobody watches these videos, so nobody caught it. Also, I do want to say, I have finished watching through all of the Treehouse of Horror episodes, including this year's, and I never did see where these ones come from exactly. The only time I noticed all the Simpsons being skeletons was a couch gag where they had no clothes, they were just skeletons. So I don't know. It's they are the bulk of figures. I don't know what episode they're from. Also being Frank's brain, which, I mean, again, I still think Frankenstein, but I don't remember this being in Frankenstein. I don't remember what else it could be, though. And I never did spot exactly where Mummy Barney came from. Was that the costume contest episode? I don't think so, because that's not very mummy-like. It's clearly just a person in a costume. So I don't know. I do not know. But yeah, my front 5 here, my top line, my favorites. Number 1, of course, is Raven Bart. And then in no particular order, we have Super Pooper Maggie, Witch Marge, Terror at 5.5 Feet Gremlin, and the Grim Reaper himself from Reaper Madness, I think was the name. But now, we do have one more door to open. I do not expect it will beat anything out of the top 5 here. I think the top 5, is the top 5 even on camera? Camera, I think, drifted up a little bit when I wasn't looking. There we go. I think they were, but I think this is the angle I wanted. Now, if I were more professional, I would just reshoot everything up to this point. But this is void of intelligence, and I'm not. But what I am doing is, you may have noticed this video is a little long for one of these videos. Longer than the first one, probably, almost certainly. And that's because it is Halloween, and I'm going to celebrate by doing a couple little extra things. Not only is this a blind box advent calendar-y thing, it's also a let's build, because we're going to build Lego Kit 31159, the Surprising Spider. It's a creator kit, it's a 3-in-1. I am going to build the spider version of it to put into my Halloween village, because I think it's going to be better than the Harry Potter one I did last year, if not better than the old Lord of the Rings Shelob kit, which I really wish they would do more with that. This looks like it might be somewhere in, like a scaled down version of that, though. We do have, looks like, more articulation in the legs. We do have the web out the butt. So I'm hoping, I have reasonably hopes this. If nothing else, it's 153 pieces. It's not going to take long. But not only is this a advent calendar sort of thing and a let's build some Lego thing, it's also, you don't have to be happy hour because it's Halloween and we need to get into the Halloween spirits with Angry Orchard Hard Cider's Jason Universe Cider. It is blood orange, flavored with other natural flavors. I do like Angry Orange. I've done Angry Orange on here before. I think I did like a cherry one that was really, really nice. But I saw they had like a Jason Voorhees flavor. It's like, I have to at least look for it. I had to at least look for it, and I found it. I found it. The Jason hard cider. So yeah, we're gonna have ourselves a little drink, build ourselves a few Lego, and get into the Halloween spirit. And also a nice, cool, refreshing beverage. Probably good today, because it seems like it's gonna be kind of warm. It's I think gonna be around like 80 today, which, you know, real super Halloween weather here in California. I mean, sure, that is pretty normal Halloween weather here in California. So it's not totally unexpected. And I mean, it's better than rain. I'd rather have it be warm than rainy, because then we really won't get any trick-or-treaters. I have no idea how many trick-or-treaters to expect. We only bought 2 bags of candy, 2 big bags of candy, but 2. Because the last few years, like since COVID, we've had like a dozen trick-or-treaters per Halloween. So we didn't want to buy a ton of candy and then have leftovers that even we don't eventually get through this year. So hopefully there aren't more than we have candy for, because I don't want to get my house egged. All right, so before we move on to our Lego and our cider, let's open door 31 of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror Halloween calendar. This was by Jakks Pacific, and it did not disappoint. I still need one more 24-day calendar for Christmas time, because there is no Lego Marvel one this year, and I need something to fill that spot. I haven't seen like any Doorables or Mini Brands ones yet, so maybe if Jakks does a Christmas one, we'll check that out. But for now, let's open the last plot in the Springfield Cemetery and see who they saved for last. Who's here on Halloween? The Grand Pumpkin's already here, Raven Bart's already here, Witch Marge, got a bunch of Homers. Who could they possibly have given us for Halloween? Who is the ultimate figure? Who do they think is the best, most exciting thing? And it's okay. It is one. Ooh, this might have to go in the front row. I think I have a Funko Pocket Pop of this from whenever we did the Simpsons Funko calendar. It is Devil Flanders. Now, it's not Heck House Devil Flanders. That was more, I think, more of the red, like Demon Mo over here. It was more your big red scary devil. This is the donut one. I've forgotten the name of it, but it's the one that goes with Homer here. This is the one, the Devil and Homer Simpson. Maybe that was the name of it. Oh yeah, it's the one where Homer goes on trial after selling his soul for a donut. And it turns out that Marge owns his soul, but the Devil Flanders does turn him into this. So I think it's only the third time we have 2 characters from the same episode, not counting the skeletons there, because I'm going to assume they're from, whatever they're from, I'm going to assume it's the same episode. But yeah, Devil Flanders. I don't think Devil Flanders pushes anybody out. I think it just makes my top 5 a top 6. So it's got a nice flexible tail, good sculpting, the eyes. We've gone back to an issue we had, I think, early in the month, where the eyes were just a little, let's get them off camera, a little off. Can we focus on those for you? I feel like it's focusing on my hand and not the eyes, but hopefully you're getting the idea there. I feel like the eyes are a little off. Who did I have that issue with? It was somebody very early in the month. It was a long time ago. It might have been Maggie here. Maggie was pretty early. She set the bar pretty high pretty soon. And her eyes are a little off. So I think maybe that's where it is. Which is funny because like Marge's eyes don't really look off at all. She just looks angry, which is appropriate. What about Bart? Yeah, Bart's got kind of the bug eyes too, doesn't he? It's the issue of making 3-dimensional figures out of 2-dimensional things. So yeah, my top 6 here, my front row are, number 1 is Bart. Everybody else, kind of in no particular order, is Witch Marge, Pooper Trooper Alien Maggie, Terror at 5.5 Feet Gremlin, the Devil Flanders, which yeah, that's a good ending. That is a good last day. I approve of that choice to finish us off. And then the Grim Reaper. At least Bart and the Grim Reaper are going to make it to the shelf. I can't speak necessarily for anybody else here, But those two for sure are shelf worthy. So some things are going to lose their place. I think it's been very rare over these last few years since I moved in here to record. I think in 2019, like end of 2019, because I know I was already in here for COVID because we did the lockdown episodes, quarantine log. That was it, quarantine logs. We did those in here. But during the time, I've kind of largely just added things to the shelf to the point that they are really overcrowded, also dusty. I'm not going to dust them, but I think we will have to start taking things down. Is Devil Flanders not up here? He could be behind the calendar here. I never did find. I have looked all month. I never did find what I did with the rest of the Halloween pocket pops. So that's, I don't know, maybe that's something we'll have to look at. Circle back around to in the future, do some other Simpsons thing maybe, and compare these to those. Well, I'll probably lose these by then. But all right, that is the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror 31-day spooky Halloween countdown calendar done. Which means time to celebrate with a drink with some Angry Orchard hard cider, blood orange, Jason Universe themed cider. I don't know if there are other Jason ones or not. This is the one I was absolutely certain of. It's the only one I found in the shops. Went to my local liquor barn, and they had this. It is 160 calories. Do we have alcohol content? We must have alcohol. 5% alcoholic content, gluten-free. Not that I'm too concerned about that. But yeah, I guess they had well, I guess I know for a fact they had a Jason Universe haunt at Universal this year. Not the one in Vegas, but the actual Florida one too, but the Hollywood one. And I guess this is a time, because I saw this referenced as being specifically Jason Universe, which is, I believe, what that house was called, not just Friday the 13th, which I'm assuming, I know there's issues with who has the rights to Friday the 13th, which is why that Friday the 13th video game, despite being apparently quite good if you're into that sort of asymmetrical fighting stuff, I know the videos I saw people playing it looked, to me at least, a little bit more impressive than Dead by Daylight, but there was issues with like the rights, and that's why the game stopped getting updated and just kind of died on the vine, despite honestly being what looked like a very faithful Friday the 13th game. I mean, for me, of course, the classic Friday the 13th is the one from the 8-bit Nintendo system. If you've never played it, and chances are, if you're watching YouTube, you probably weren't alive when the 8-bit Nintendo was around, go find some videos on it. It's a trip. There was also a Nightmare on Elm Street video, which you should also look at, because, yeah, we did interesting things in the 80s and 90s. I guess technically those would be 90s. All right, let's check out our Blood Orange Angry Orchard hard cider. Jason Voorhees approved. Okay, it looks like it's pinkish. I was expecting more of an orange color, but it's reddish, and I'm pouring it all over the table. Kind of like that cherry one we tried. Oh, how can I mess up pouring a cider? It's in a soda can. How am I getting this wrong? This is ridiculous. It is. I guess it makes sense. It would be red. It's blood orange. So this makes sense. It is a very bloody red. Smells interesting. Smells like, oh, it's on the bottom too. Honestly, it smells like Bath and Body Works. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean that in a good way. It actually smells like something I would buy a candle that smelled like that. It doesn't smell super alcohol-y. It just smells kind of vaguely fruity. It doesn't really smell particularly citrusy. It smells kind of like fruit punch. That's what I'm getting fruit punch. Your mileage may vary. Maybe it's because it's red like fruit punch, but I'm getting fruit punch off of it. Let's give it a sip. A little perfumey. A little perfumier than I would have expected. It's not super sweet. I can taste the, like a little bit of the sourness of the cider in there. It's not as good as the cherry, I will say that. I liked the cherry one I tried a couple years back. I know I like that one better. This isn't bad. I mean, I think I had like 4 cans of it, or 3 more cans of it. And those will get drunk. It's not bad, but it's not one I think I would seek out again. Am I getting blood orange though? Because blood orange has a pretty kind of like low, dark, distinctive taste. I mean, it doesn't taste like oranges per se. And I guess I'm getting a little bit kind of like that tart sourness of the blood orange mixed in with like kind of the tartness of the cider itself. It's not bad. It is not bad. I've certainly had worse beers than this. I've had worse ciders than this. It's not bad. It's not as good as the cherry one I tried before, but it's not bad. And it is. I think it's just the way the flavor of the blood orange is mixing with the normal Angry Orchard flavor. It's giving it a little perfuminess. It's a little more like perfumey. That may not even be like, that may not make sense to everybody, but that's the way I'm interpreting it. It tastes like perfume smells, but not in a totally unpleasant way. It's got very strong like aroma on the tongue. Just perfume is what comes to mind. It's kind of like when I try like water, like things that are supposed to smell like the ocean from like Bath and Body Works. They always smell very perfumey to me, as opposed to sea salt, which doesn't. Not bad. It is definitely on the tart side. It's got a strong sound. It's not sweet, but it's not bad. And it's got a nice blood red color. And I think I'm just going to out of the can, so I don't just end up wasting half of it on my table here. Yeah, not bad. Not great, but not bad. If you like a good tart cider, I would go look for it. Or if you like Friday the 13th and you like Apple or Angry Orchard, I'd go look for it for that. All right, it's time to build some Lego. There's still stuff on the table here. Is it still on the bottom of the... All right, I think we're good. It's time to build some Lego. We do have here kit 31159. The surprising spider can be built as a spider, a scorpion, or a sneaky snake. I am not in love with the color schemes here, although I think those things might glow. Yeah, I'm not in love with the color, but I do like, I like the design. I think I'm probably going to end up swapping out some of this red and yellow for something else before I put up the village next year. But let's see what we have here. This is only 153 pieces. It shouldn't take long to build. It does actually have a QR code. I was kind of expecting that it wouldn't, because so many of these small kits don't. It only has a QR code, but it has 3 separate books for the instructions. These 2 are obviously much thinner because I aren't going to use all the pieces. This one uses all the pieces. All we do have is, we have 2 bags here, but they're kind of set up into one step. And it's going to be a mere 56 steps to build this. So it shouldn't take us very long at all. So yeah, there's a QR code if you want to follow along at home. But I'm going to build myself some Lego while having myself some cider. Let's jump to the fast forward. And there we have it, Kit 31159, the Lego Creator 3-in-1 Surprising Spider, all built, mere 153 pieces. Took what, like a minute and a half of fast forward, and it's built. And yeah, it is as I kind of thought. It is kind of a middle ground between the old Lord of the Rings Shelob and that Harry Potter one that came out last, or at least that I got last year. That one, it looked good. Honestly, it looks better than this, just because they've gone with a bright thing here that I just don't personally care for. I'm gonna, I think, ultimately swap these reds and bright yellows, these like highlighter yellows out with maybe some like blacks and browns, just to make it look a little bit more spidery. Although I know there are spiders that have bright colors, because bright colors in nature generally signify danger. But it is a lot more posable. That one didn't have, I mean, like, I think the legs rotated a little bit side to side, but they didn't have like any articulation on the leg itself. They just kind of like went up and down as a solid piece. These have multiple joints, so you can have your spider stand or hang as you want. And that's the other thing this has over the other one, is this does have a spider web out the butt. Yep, that's the surprising part of the surprising spiders. It does in fact have a wind-up bit of string, and the part that surprised me nicely the most is that I didn't have to tie anything to it. It's already pre-threaded. I don't know if I have any pieces like this where the string's already threaded through. I don't have to like tie any little micro knots, which is lovely. But yeah, just turn this little knob on the bottom here in a way that doesn't cause it to just unroll when you let go of it. And yep, all goes up back nice and neat inside. This will be much easier to put like onto something. Now, so I thought these teeth look like they, or the fangs look like they should glow in the dark. So let's check that out real quick. Turn off some lights. Or of course it's still a little bright in here because of the head there. But let's get our black light here. And maybe not, because like you can see the highlighter colored pieces actually really react nicely to the black light, but we don't seem to be getting much reaction at all off of this. I mean, they might like very dully be glowing. I guess it is a little bit. Unfortunately, the camera's like adjusting for the darkness. So it's much brighter on camera than it is to my eyes. But like, I know you can, background you should be able to see, at least when that goes into like one of the darker colors, you can see the skeleton Simpsons glowing there. And this, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say this, while it looks like it should be a glowing piece, is not a glowing piece, as where, like these guys back here, all do actually glow in the dark. All right, turn the lights back on. There, now it's a little less spooky in here, admittedly, but we can see better. So yeah, that's a little disappointing. I really thought these were gonna, now watch, I'm gonna turn the camera off, turn all the lights off in here, and it's gonna glow just wonderfully. But for now, yeah, the yellow certainly reacts to black light, but the fangs do not seem to glow, or at least they do. They don't glow very much. I don't think it says anywhere on here that they glow. I do kind of suspect models cannot be built simultaneously. Well, yes. I do kind of suspect they would tell me if they glowed. Also, the string should glow too, but I'm not turning the lights back off to test it. Still a fun set, ages 7 and up. Simple little build. Lots of fiddly bits for a kit that's only 153 pieces. I'm going to say like 53 of those are kind of one by one sort of bits. These little round bits, these little semicircle bits. But I do ultimately like the model. I would love to see them do this in a little more realistic colors. I mean, obviously I could just do it myself in a little more realistic colors, with the possible exception of I don't know how many different versions of this they sell. But I mean, I can always do it the old way of tying things together, because I'm pretty sure that's how Shelob was, is that it had to tie a string to the crank on one end, and probably to, I don't have a spare one handy, but the pieces that are used in here to hold the legs on the other end I guess that kit's like a dozen years old, so I don't really remember. I know we got it down last year to look at it when we did the Harry Potter one, but I don't remember exactly how it was constructed. Just that it did have the string that rolled up, and it had much nicer articulated legs, kind of like our new little Lego friend here, which will make it much easier to put into the village next year when Halloween time rolls around again, assuming we have a next year and Halloween time does in fact roll around again. But I'm afraid that does end this series. All of our graves have opened, our Lego's built, our cider is empty. There's nothing else to do but go out and have a Halloween. I did finally pick a costume. Finally decided yesterday that I would just do my groundskeeper from the Haunted Mansion costume. I haven't done that in a long time. And it's not the most ride accurate version of the costume. I've actually ordered some pieces that should hopefully be here today to make it a little bit more ride accurate. But yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the groundskeeper. Haven't done him in a while. Do him this year. I suppose at least I can see, as opposed to when I do things like I was like a burlap sack-headed killer last year and the Sith Lord before that. And I wear these masks. I can't see anything. So even the few trick-or-treaters we get, I can't clearly see who they are. So at least I'll be able to see this year. So that'll be nice. Plus, if it's, it's like I said, it's going to be like almost 80 degrees today. It may be a little warm this evening to have a full-on mask anyways. But that wraps this up. Calendar I liked. The Lego I liked. The cider, the more I drink of it, the more the blood orange I could taste. I still don't like it better than the cherry, but I did grow to appreciate it more as I drank. Now, to be fair, that could be the alcohol, but I did come to appreciate it more as I drank. So yeah, it's good. I recommend trying it. If you like blood orange, if you like Friday the 13th, if you like hard ciders, go to see if you can find some before they sell out, because I'm sure this was limited edition and probably won't be any new cans of it coming to stores. Maybe next year we'll get a different one though. That'll be nice. Or maybe they'll do some other horror themed, undoubtedly to do with blood flavor. But that wraps up. I think I've said that the 6th time now. That does wrap this up. What did you think of this calendar? Did you like it? Would you buy it yourself? Should I look for a Jakks specific calendar for my other 24 day for Christmas? That's just like a month away if we start that up now. But I like that. I like the quality of it. It started out a little iffy. I wasn't disappointed in them, but I mean, if it had been 31 days of crusty boxes, that would have been would have worn on me a bit. I would not have managed to, I think, kept the enthusiasm that I did through this whole month, because it did really it jumped up in quality and it kind of stayed there. Some nice pieces, and all of it. I mean, it's nicely modeled. It's certainly inexpensive per piece, but it's not like, like old cereal prize or anything. It's decent looking stuff, good sculpts, decent paint jobs, good moldings, and almost all of it stands up properly. There are a few exceptions. But what did you think of it? Let me know, what are your favorites? What are your least favorites? As far as Lego goes, definitely, run out and buy that today to give the kids their special little extra Halloween treat tonight to build themselves a spooky, scary, surprising spider. And then grab yourself some hard cider to make trick-or-treating. I have seen, in my neighborhood, parents walking around trick-or-treating, wine glasses in hand. So it's acceptable. It's an acceptable thing to do. Take your kids out there, glass of wine, can of Jason cider, whatever. Enjoy your Halloween. Do it safely. Wear your costumes, get your candy or give out your candy, and have yourself a spooky, good one. But I hope you found today, and indeed this whole series, interesting or entertaining. If you did, give it a like. Go back and give a like to the other 30 videos in the series. And come on back next time for something different. I think I've talked for like another 5 minutes. I said I would stop, didn't I? So I will stop now. Have a good Halloween, and I'll see you in the next video.